Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So this is part 3 of the I don't know what's going on with these Olympic gymnasts, but it's been back-to-back headlines. Just recently it hit the media that the American gymnast Jordan Chiles may be unfortunately having her bronze medal essentially taken because of some kind of technicality, I think is what it really is, that I feel like was really the judge's fault. And I quote, "The Court of Arbitration for Sport ruled Saturday that the judging panel at the women's floor exercise final improperly granted an inquiry that increased Chiles' score and moved her into bronze medal position. The Swiss-based court found that Chiles' appeal was submitted past the 1-minute deadline for such requests and therefore should not have been granted. As a result, CAS said the American gymnast should have received a score of 13.666 in the event, which would have placed her 5th, just shy of the Olympic podium. The International Gymnastics Federation, which governs the sport, confirmed in a statement later Saturday that Chiles' score had been reinstated and that Romania's Ana Barbosu, who scored a 13.7, has been moved back into 3rd place. End quote. Now, they're saying it's up to the internal Olympic Committee as to whether or not they're going to take the medal back from her. It's apparently up to them. And a lot of people were coming out, her teammates, Simone Biles, Sunisa Lee, they were basically saying that y'all are talking about what they did on the floor routine, points this, points that, but it's a judge issue. And I do believe that it was a judge issue. This was a fumble on their part, not these athletes. Her friends and family were trying to keep her encouraged and uplifted. There were unfortunately people saying that she, and I quote, stole the bronze from this other young lady from Romania. And I think it's messed up particularly for Jordan because she and Simone, like I said in the previous videos, gave a lot of credit to the young lady from Brazil. They uplifted her. They didn't treat this like it was a competition. Yes, they were competing, but they had a sense of sisterhood and sportswomanship and respect. But unfortunately, the same was not really returned to her. Whether they made a mistake or not, it doesn't matter. The judges were responsible for the points. So if anybody did anything, it's the judge's fault. And for those athletes or whoever it was to target Jordan and say that she stole the medal was very wrong, and it was very below the belt and very just tactless to say about that young lady, especially because of what she's dealing with right now. She doesn't need more. She did make a statement saying that she was taking a break from social media for her mental health, which is necessary. Simone Biles had did this before in the past. It's necessary. This messes with these people's emotions, their minds, and it's not right. They've already got enough that they're dealing with after everything they've had to go through to get to this point. They don't need a bunch of people who don't know them and don't care about them spewing derogatory things. It's not right. Now, according to this article, and I quote, "The USA Gymnastics and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee said in a joint statement that they were devastated by Saturday's ruling, arguing that the inquiry into Chiles' score was filed in good faith and in accordance with the FIG rules." End quote. They also stated that through all of this, as I spoke of earlier, she has been, and I quote, "subjected to consistent, utterly baseless, and extremely hurtful attacks on social media." End quote. That none of these people should have to be going through, as I said before. And they were condemning the actions of these people who were attacking her in this way. So what I am to understand for the most part in summary is that she had just right under a 13.7 count, but the committees had asked the judges to review her routine, her floor routine, and they had asked the judges to, and I quote, "take a second look at a deduction that they had levied against Chiles." End quote. Allegedly, after reviewing a particular move that she had performed, y'all know I don't know nothing about gymnastics and that jargon. Apparently, and I quote, "the judges walked back the deduction and increased Chiles' score by 1/10 of a point, which boosted her to bronze." Now, I'm going to double down on what I said on how I believe this was a judge issue, not an athlete issue. Allegedly, apparently, if I have all the details correctly, they unfortunately did this after they already had told the young lady from Romania that she had the 13.7 score and had her under the impression that she had won the bronze. He had already run up to the podium with her flag, only for them to tell her, oh, actually, we, did some more inquiry, whatever, and that basically Jordan Chiles was going to get the bronze spot. And it was a blow to her. We have to acknowledge that that was messed up, that they had her up there and then changed their minds at the last minute. Apparently, it was so bad that the Romanian Prime Minister, and I quote, said he would not attend the closing ceremony of the Paris Games because of the judging decision. And also a former Romanian gymnast called them out for how they handled the situation or mishandled it. Now, despite how you feel about who you feel what about, I'm not saying one person should have won over the other one. I'm just saying that they should have handled it in a way that did not embarrass or hurt somebody's feelings, because as the former Romanian gymnast said, y'all are messing with people's emotions. You're messing with their mental states when you're doing stuff like this. Giving the medal, taking the medal back. Oh, we thought about the points. Oh, now we got to take the points back. This needs to be figured out in a way that doesn't screw people over so publicly, especially. Now, the Romanian Gymnastics Federation filed appeals because of what happened, trying to challenge what happened and how this all turned out. One of those appeals basically called into question the inquiry that was submitted, as it says right here, on Chiles's behalf. Basically, whenever they first submitted that, hey, look back into this, look at the routine one more time, they were basically calling it into question simply because that inquiry was, and I quote, filed exactly 4 seconds past the 60-second deadline, end quote. So essentially, they're trying to call that inquiry into question because they missed the deadline to call it by 4 seconds. And I get a lot of people were kind of like, that's a load of bull crap, simply because Jordan Chiles is American and they're American. But at the same time, 4 seconds? I'm scratching my head. I can see if it was a whole hour that had passed, but 4 seconds? But anyways, like I said before, I feel like these people were taking it out on Jordan, that the judges had this going on. To my knowledge, Jordan did not submit that inquiry. It was submitted on her behalf. So if they have an issue with what the judges did, they need to take it up with the judges and the person who submitted that inquiry, instead of taking it out on her. Like I said before, it's sad that she showed support and sportswomanship maturity to the other women she was competing against, but some of these women from these other countries did not feel the same clearly. A lot of these people were treating this like, we don't care about maturity and sportswomanship. We don't care about that. Oh, we can hold hands and take pictures after we get done competing. We just want the medals. We just want to win. And I say that because of how some people responded. Like I said, these young athletes have every right to be upset because of how the judges mishandled those points that way and had people on the podium thinking that they were going to get the bronze medal, then off the podium, then, oh, we got to take the points back. That was ridiculous, the way they handled that. They should have came to a decision and stuck to it. But unfortunately, blame gets placed on people who don't deserve it. Fingers get pointed. Accusations get thrown around. Anyways, hopefully they can resolve this, and hopefully it does not result in any bad blood between countries. I done told y'all before, these people take this stuff seriously. Like I said, it's okay to want to do well, but I think there's a line we have to draw to not go overboard. But we all know somebody's going to cross that line. Let's just hope it doesn't blow up worse than it already has, and that it doesn't end up, like I said, with bad blood between two different countries. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.